What's up, y'all? I've got some good news for you today. We have Amari Brown in the house, and this man landed an 80K tech sales role in just 23 days. Amari's here to tell us all about his experience with Sword. Can you kind of fill us in? Like, what were you doing before Sword, before you even heard of tech sales? What was life like?
So before Sword, I was on the road doing substation construction. I was going on 3 years. And I was going Monday through Thursday away from the house. Big reason why I wanted to switch it up is, when we were having our first kid and I didn't want to be away from home. I was playing with my buddy and it was crazy. Like the next week, like your stuff popped up on Instagram. I was like, okay, this can't be a coincidence.
So, substation, what were you even doing before this?
Pretty much manual labor, 10 hours a day, building electrical stations. It was great work, but it was a little taxing. Before that, I had a little bit of sales experience door to door. Did that for about 3 years. That was pretty much the first real job.
Was it more of like a financial thing then, or more of like you just want a path to be present one day?
Said both. I wanted to be present. I want to make sure that I'm there for my daughter when she comes in March. Also, I have the money and the resources needed to have stability.
Tell us after joining Sword, you landed at this awesome company. Sounds like everything's been going well.
It's great, man. Culture is awesome. The work is challenging. It's a startup, so I got my hands in a lot of things, but it's been rewarding, crushing it, and the team has been helping me every day.
Amazing. And I know you're only a few weeks on the job, but I'm curious, like, what has it been like within your marriage, even and within the home, having you in a different career?
My wife is so happy I'm home every night. And I mean, it's been awesome, and it's nothing like sleeping in your own bed every night. That was a huge thing for us, especially with my wife just going through, the ups and downs of pregnancy, pain, just nausea. I'm there to rub her back if she needs it, and if something happens, I can come home. I'm not 2, 3, 4, 5 hours away from your house. So it's been a game changer. I'm there. I can have dinner with my wife, watching a movie.
That's amazing. You mentioned us connecting through Instagram. So here I am, perfect stranger to you. And by the way, there's like a lot of programs and stuff out there. You can't really trust anyone on Instagram. So I'm kind of curious, man, like, why did you pick Sword? I was a complete stranger.
That was the case when I came across your page. That's exactly what came to mind. I just started watching some interviews like these, testimonies, watched some of your videos on YouTube, just did my due diligence. You really checked out, bro. You were a man of your word. I messaged you, hit me right back. You never kind of pressure me to move forward at all, give me all the information I needed. Your character sold me, bro. I just was like, this is the guy.
Wow. I'm really grateful that the Lord connected us that way. And you said it sounds like you were praying with a buddy the week before. It's so amazing how God works. It's just cool how like the Lord is connecting the people who need to be here. There certainly are a lot of people that end up on the fence and they don't get off the fence. Like I talked to a lot of guys like you. They are in a situation they don't love. They're curious about tech sales, but I'm a stranger or they don't know if it's going to be worth it, if it's going to pay off. What would you tell those guys that are on the fence joining Sword?
I was on the fence and trying to think of other avenues I could take and was afraid of not making it work. I just had to think like, I'm doing it for the right reasons. Like the Lord led me to this. I can trust this. I can trust Jack. Like just take your time, pray about it, do your research, but trust the Lord, trust your gut. And like Jack's a great guy. He's gonna take great care of you. 23 days, I never would have thought on the testament. And there's a bunch of other people going through the program and it worked. You can do it. Believe in yourself. Trust the Lord. Jack's got your back. Yeah, talk fast.
If the Lord is telling you to do anything, and it might not even be tech sales, you got to obey. The worst thing you can
Yeah.
do is nothing. If you know the Lord is calling you somewhere, that's for the enemy wants you. He wants you to just stay, right? It could not even be tech sales. It's just whatever opportunity presents itself. Praying about it is the wisest thing to do.
Everything in life, man. And I'm working on that in every area. Glad you said
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. So you mentioned I will take care of you. I'm honored to hear that you felt taken care of. What is something about my coaching style that you feel like was unique or stuck out to you as I was working with you?
Man, I mean, for me personally, like just having that one-on-one access, being able to drop on the call, any question I had, I mean, I hit you up any day of the week, pick your brain about anything, even if it was something that we've already talked about a little bit, like you let me know that from the beginning, like don't feel afraid to pester me with questions because that's how I'm going to get the most. Your willingness up front, you set the tone and you set a great expectation. I think, when you start applying for jobs, you'll see that people want somebody else. I think it's just as important to be a good coach. And I think you're a great coach. We did some mock interview. You really helped me work through praise, and it also just helped me to be myself. Helped me to lean on story and just to be genuine. And, in sales, a lot of people will tell you the opposite.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. So just being one on one, and you just being a great coach, just knowing how to listen and how to pull out greatness in others, be a strong trait in you.
Thank you. To throw some love back your way, man. You're actually a pillar for me to speak of when I talk to guys who are like, I just don't know if I have the time. I don't know if I'm too busy, my work schedule. I'm like, y'all, Amari was driving hours a day. He was taking videos for managers in his like work outfits, and he was away from his wife who's pregnant. Like, you don't have an excuse. I'm sorry. Like, the question is, how bad do you want it? And if you really want it bad enough, if Amari did it in 23 days, you can absolutely do it 1,000%.
Just like Jack said, like, how bad do you want it? If it's something that you want bad enough, like, I really want to be home. And so I'm going to make it happen. So just think about your why, and you can do it. You can do it. I'm not some like special dude. I'm a regular guy. I'm blessed. I'm a child of God for sure. But I'm not anything crazy. You can do it. You can.
Yeah, man, you showed up to the gym. That's it. I need my clients to come to the gym. That's it. You make it into the gym, you bust open those doors. I'm gonna be right there in your ear to make sure that you have all the support, encouragement, everything you need. And that's what you're willing to do, Amari. You're just willing to show up and listen and follow through. And that's why we're here. Question I've got for you, more on the personal side. So outside of landing an 80K tech sales role, 23 days, like that's insane as is. Outside of that, what's something personally you're really proud of accomplishing, of growing in this season?
Being more present with my wife, just seeing her, we just kind of talked about this, like seeing her in her early stages of motherhood already, and able to witness that, just to see the beauty in life. I mean, it's so fascinating just seeing this baby just grow over months and weeks. It's so cool. So man, just turning into the father that I want to be. I think that's the biggest accomplishment I'll ever have. I'm so excited for our baby girl to get here. And just making things happen for her and for us. It's a blessing. I love it. And so, I mean, that's always gonna be what I'm most proud of.
That makes me so fulfilled to hear, man. Like I've not yet cried on one of these, but that certainly hit a string. Because that's real, man. Like that's you showing up as the husband and the father that you want to show up as. And if you weren't willing to step out in faith, and if you weren't willing to put it on the line, you wouldn't be here, right? And so I am really proud of you for drawing that line in the sand and doing everything you needed to do to put yourself in a position to be the husband and father that you want to be.
Thank you, bro. I
Yeah.
appreciate that. Yeah, I loved your story too. Just like we were saying there, you didn't let your past keep you from being a good father and a good husband. And that drives you every day. So that helped having you as my coach.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let's share the love with some other people then, because other people are on the job search. They're not having the same success you did in 23 days. Maybe they've been looking for a couple months, getting rejected from interviews, not landing interviews. What's something specific you learned in Sword that if they knew about would actually help them?
Get into the mind of the hiring managers, recruiters, the people that you're talking to. Be a person, be personable, stand out. I mean, what Jack is going to have you do is going to help you stand out. You'll see not a lot of people that are throwing in applications are doing what it takes to get the job, and it'll be easy to stand out. But be a person, like actually care about the jobs that you're applying to, do your research. People that you're interviewing with are people, they have lives, they care about things. Just put in what you're hoping to get out. You'll reap what you
I really like the frame of put yourself in the mind of the hiring manager because every question they ask you is intentional. Like they're looking for a right answer and a wrong answer. So you can almost reverse engineer interviews and go, okay, they're asking me about failure. So what do they want me to say? Well, they want me to be someone who handles failure well. Cool. So I'll make sure I say that and attach an example of how I am that with that answer. So I think that's like such a great takeaway. Put yourself in their mind of why they're asking you these questions.
just the way the program is laid out, you help see that. Just the way I ask my questions in the interview as well and answer questions, like I'm not just answering questions just to answer questions. Everything is goal oriented, just like on the job. Like when I call prospect, it's goal oriented, and so the questions I will ask on the phone, even the research that I do, everything helps me to book a meeting, land an interview, and get a job off.
Everything's intentional. Well, Amari, you being intentional is why you're here in just 23 days, man. Congratulations. I'm really proud of you. And by the way, I'm going to plug you because I don't think you'd ever do this. Amari makes some really good music, y'all. SFG Rain on Spotify. This dude
Right.
has like, there's corny Christian rap. This is not that. This is like, I was bumping this in the parking lot with my buddy over Thanksgiving break, and I sent a picture to Amari. Check him out. He's got great music.
I appreciate the drop, man. You know, like you said, there are some corny examples out there, but you know, for a long time I made music and I felt convicted and led to make it for Christ and about Christ. And I thought it was going to be corny if I did that. Man, I have the most fun. I made the best music I've made in years because I'm true to who God made me to be. So I appreciate you stopping me out.
Yeah, man. So it's SFG Rain. What does SFG stand for?
Yeah, so SF is striving for greatness.
Amazing. Well, greatness indeed. Thank you, God, for what you've done through this journey, and Amari, way to show
Yes,
up for your family, man. I'm proud of you.
yes, sir. Thank you, Jack, man, for being a great leader and a great example to follow, man. I was definitely blessed to come across your Instagram and become friends with you. And I mean, this has really helped change my life.